Hey, so I was looking at my local community college, and I was looking at the courses that they offer there, the degrees that are offered, and one of them stuck out to me. And this was an associate's degree in addiction counseling. Now, I looked at the course requirements and the different classes that I would have to take in order to get the degree. And this involves a lot of things like pharmacology, psychology, and sociology. And then, of course, some human services and statistics. Um, so it does look like a very interesting course for me to take. It looks like something I would enjoy taking. Uh, Once I complete it, I could get a very good job, a high paying job, or I could move on to a bachelor's degree in one of the sciences. Um, but this got me thinking about addiction because, as some of you may be aware, addiction is a very common thing in our society. We have a lot of addicts, and there's always a need for addiction counselors. Um, and in my personal experience, I have actually a lot of experience with substances. So, addiction, helping people get unaddicted to things, is something that is appealing to me. um, so let's talk a little bit about addiction. I was talking about this in a group chat that I'm in, and I got some information there. Uh, there was what the other person brought up was that for nicotine, at least, there could be an agonist for the acetylcholine A2B4 and A3B4 receptors. These receptors seem to be responsible for nicotine withdrawal symptoms. He was suggesting that perhaps this information could be used to help treat other addictions as well, although I don't know if that would really be likely. I couldn't find much information on the A2B4 and A3B4 receptors, but what little I found did kind of confirm what he was saying. It is malfunction at these two receptors that seems to be the cause of most of the symptoms of nicotine withdrawal. And of course, it is the withdrawal that is the worst part of trying to quit. As far as other substances go, we know that psychedelics actually are very potent in helping people to overcome addiction. Ibogaine, in particular, has been tested for opioid addiction and has been very, very powerful in treating addiction. People essentially are full-blown addicts. They go into an iboga trip, and I forget how long the iboga trip lasts. It's more than 10 hours, I think. But they come out, and they don't even have a slight craving anymore. The ibogaine had completely rewired their brain to be unaddicted. In my own experience, I had someone gave me some dirty cocaine once, and I got an urge to do more, and I had a voice in my head telling me to do more. I took LSD, and one LSD trip, I was no longer feeling those cravings. I was no longer hearing that voice. It was a very unpleasant trip, but it got me over the addiction. So there could be some, and I've seen studies about shrooms doing the same thing. um, People have addictions, and psychedelics definitely help them to overcome their addiction. What this could be, it could be an actual, the receptors are being tampered with by the chemicals in the psychedelics. It could be that the rewiring of the brain that takes place when people are tripping on psychedelics, that itself causes them to no longer feel the urge to take the substance. It could be a combination of these things. Now, one thing that should be noted is that 12-step programs. First off, I'm going to link to a video in the description. This video goes over how Alcoholics Anonymous is a cult. And since all the 12-step programs are based on Alcoholics Anonymous, 12-step programs are cults. They are, in fact, cults, and they have a 100% failure rate. They actively say that relapse is part of recovery, which is arguable. It's very easy to argue against, actually. But they have a 100% relapse rate, which is a 100% failure rate, as far as I'm concerned. Other programs that have that do not use the 12-step model have more success. They have lower relapse rates. Although I don't know what all those models entail. I know when I was in California, I would see advertisements for these non-12-step programs, and they were generally like resorts, so maybe that has something to do with the success rate. But they had a like 95% success rate, very, very low relapse rate, and that is a higher success rate than a 12-step program. Now, of course, a 12-step program, the first step is to give up responsibility for your choices, for the choices that brought you to addiction. And if you know anything about the brain, you know anything about free will and the science with the free will, you know that that is the worst possible thing that you can do. When you tell people that they do not have free will, or that they don't have control of their actions, they behave more poorly. They do not behave better. They behave more poorly. Even the most well-educated people will be acting terribly. They cheat more. They act immorally. They lash out more. So that is not what you want to do. Read The Mind and the Brain by Jeffrey Schwartz. That was a really good book, by the way. It didn't deal specifically with drug use, but it dealt with a lot of other things that just really prove how much control we have over our own brains. And so the fact that taking responsibility for your actions is probably the first true step to recovery. Saying that, I made decisions that brought me to addiction, and I have to make the choice to not be addicted anymore, to overcome my addiction. That is probably the first step to overcoming addiction. And that, coupled with the chaos that comes with a psychedelic trip, would probably be very potent for overcoming addiction. And you don't necessarily need psychedelics in order to overcome addiction. You could have an initiatory ritual. And this is something that has been looked into a little bit, but the power of initiation, the power of initiatory ritual, is something that we lack in the West, and it appears that lacking this has caused a breakdown of our society, um, and especially with drug use, because other cultures have drug use, but they do not have degeneracy, really. And these other cultures, the one thing that separates them from us is that they have initiation. They have a binding ritual that unifies the people. So, these are just my thoughts on addiction. There's some books I would want to get, and if I do end up taking the course, I'll be able to talk more on it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.